college football has moved south. No surprise that the SEC is the dominant conference. No surprise, too, that if you want to win a national championship, that is where you go. And I offer one more preamble to this answer here, Greeny. LSU is it's a cinch to win a title there, meaning Saban did it. Okay, we get that. He's the GOAT. But so did Les Miles, who's never going to be in a Hall of Fame, and so did Ed Ogeron, who, I'm still surprised ever got the job, even though he won a title 2 years ago. So that's why Brian Kelly took the job, and I think he has a very good chance of winning down there.
And there are 95 million other reasons why he took the job. That came out as we were wrapping up Get Up today, that his contract is 10 years and $95 million. But he was going to get paid a lot of money at Notre Dame. I actually don't think the money is the big piece of this. Let me give you the counter argument to that. When Lincoln Riley decided to go to USC, here was the first thought I had. The best way to win the national championship in college football is to have a program that would be good enough to compete in the SEC, but not have to, which is to say that's what Dabo Swinney has done at Clemson, right? You put together an unbelievably good team and you play in a conference where maybe you play one tough game a year instead of the gauntlet those guys deal in. If Brian Kelly thought he was having a tough time with Stanford, now he's going to have to go to Alabama and Florida and all these other places every single week. That, to me, it feels a little bit like be careful what you wish for.
True, and everything you said is correct. But Brian Kelly, I don't think had too many moves left. He either stays at Notre Dame and tries to find enough players that can beat an Alabama, an LSU, or Clemson in a CFP semifinal or final, or he makes the plunge. And I think I think he thought about it a few months ago when Scott Woodward, the AD, called him. And I think he thought again. And the reason why he thought again is he watched. He saw what James Franklin got at Penn State and Mel Tucker at Michigan State, two coaches who are certainly not quite in his league yet. He saw the Lincoln Riley move, and he said, you know what, I'm 60 years old. I don't have many moves left. I don't have any moves left, frankly, other than the one on the phone right now with LSU, and I'm going to take it. And I think he was essentially saying, I can't win a national championship at Notre Dame. That may sound harsh to Irish fans all over this country, but it's a reality. They have not won a title since 1988, and I don't think they were going to win one under Brian Kelly.
Greeny and Paul Finebaum with us here with the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. That opens up what, as we initially said here, was once upon a time the preeminent job in college football and remains a very big deal. So what would be the list of usual suspects, in your view, for Notre Dame right now?
You start with Luke Fickell, but there are complications, Greeny, because right now a win away from getting in the playoffs, and can Luke Fickell walk away from that, or can Cincinnati and Notre Dame negotiate some sort of arrangement? I think it's possible. There was a time when you could take another job and still play for the national championship. You can still do it as an assistant. It's happened several times with Nick Saban assistants. But I think that would be something I would have to find out very quickly. And Jack Swarbrick, I think, might allow that because he doesn't view things as narrowly as some perhaps in the South would. But so that's where you start. Matt Campbell's a name that seemingly has been mentioned for every job in the country. You have Marcus Freeman on that staff, who is well thought of and maybe the player's favorite. But I think it starts with Luke Fickell. He is the most attractive coach remaining on the board. Again,
Luke Fickell, who briefly was an interim coach or had a season at Ohio. Interim is probably not exactly what he was, but he was there at Ohio State between Tressel and Urban Meyer, and now has built Cincinnati into a place where they may wind up getting into the playoff. And so, Paul, that's the next piece of this, because you know what all the fans are saying and everyone is going to say, and it's the right thing to say, which is Cincinnati has a real chance to get into the playoff here. They're on the doorstep, as you just pointed out. Notre Dame still has a real chance of getting into the playoff. What does it say about the sport? I mean, Oklahoma had the chance until they lost on Saturday night, and Lincoln Riley took the job like 5 hours later. So the idea that, that he wasn't going otherwise doesn't seem to hold water to me. What does it say about where we are in the sport that coaches are leaving programs while they still have a chance to win the national championship?
College football has no conscience, Greeny, and that should not come as a big surprise to you because we've seen so many stupefying events already this year, from the Oklahoma-Texas departure to Lincoln Riley, probably on the bus back home, cutting a deal with Southern Cal to Brian Kelly out recruiting yesterday. While excuse me, Mom and Dad, I love the chicken fried steak you served me, but I've got to take a call outside so I can go accept the LSU job. I mean, and by the way, I mean it's happening so fast, Greeny, that there really is no time to digest it and reflect, because it's just throw more money after people, and fans don't care. They don't care that yesterday they hated Brian Kelly and today he's their coach. Same with Lincoln Riley, same with everyone else. And Nick Saban's got to be sitting there going, no, is anybody going to offer me a job? I mean, I'm the best coach of all time. But that's just the way it is. And the most surprising thing, Greeny, it's not even surprising.
Greeny with you, presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. One more for you. And again, anyone who's listening to us who doesn't know, Paul is the voice of the Southeastern Conference and hosts. His radio show is simulcast on our SEC network, and no one understands the dynamics down there better than Paul does. And I say that just to make sure that everyone understands, Paul, your expertise when I ask you this question. Oklahoma and Texas are about to move to the SEC. Any of the things that have happened here, particularly Lincoln Riley departing, does that change anything? Will that impact all of this in any way? And will any of this college realignment be impacted by all of this movement?
I don't think so, but I do think Oklahoma has been devalued, Greeny. They are in a really precarious position, having lost Lincoln Riley. So and Texas has been mired in a rough season under Sarkisian. I think the only thing it will do will expedite their departure from the Big 12. There are a lot of accusations from Oklahoma fans that they're not being treated fairly. I'm sure everyone else cares not about that.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.